We welcome you to Salt Lake City, the continuation of this Western Conference showdown. The Utah Jazz have the upper hand on the Oklahoma City Thunder. The NBA playoffs on TNT Round 1 presented by Hulu. It's the 4-5 matchup in the West. And Utah leading this best-of-7 series 2-1. George had 8 threes in Game 1. An overplay by Favors. He's called for the foul on the post-up to Carmelo.
Look ahead. I think that Joe Ingles should have shot that ball, but Mitchell goes up. Brewer flying from the backcourt. What a great block by Corey Brewer.
And some words exchange here between Mitchell and George. The officials get in between. And a technical has been assessed. Ingles was chatting. Mitchell joined in. All of this took place right in front of the officials. So here's Ingles. Favors had a little bump there from Brewer. Ingles got pushed back by George, and that's when Mitchell came in. Mark Davis intercepted.
And I think for that push right there that Paul George is going to pick up a technical foul. Obviously the referees can come up and tell Joe Ingles to back away. It's not up to Paul George to move him physically back. You got to be prepared, and you got to know your audience, but you also have to be patient.
The French rejection. Gobert gets Westbrook. O'Neal digs in against George and a foul called. George continued with the drive. Gobert took exception. And right now, the officials are trying to send a message to these players. They're not going to have any of this. Bill Kennedy had a chat with young Royce O'Neal.
Well, it's also the second time, though, that Paul George has accentuated the play. Now, watch after the play. The whistle was there, and he just throws his bow into Rudy Gobert. There was a play late in the third quarter in Game 3 where he went after Royce O'Neal in the same way. So Paul George making his presence felt physically.
Fourth team foul against the Jazz. Isolation. Westbrook goes glass. And some chatter afterwards. Rubio goes down. And a foul called. Westbrook just motioned over to Billy Donovan. Don't take me out. Westbrook and Crowder continue the conversation. That's number 2 on Russell Westbrook. And a conference now between Bill Spooner and Bill Kennedy. Mark Davis joins them.
I mean, Ricky with a brilliant play there, just running and stopping and making Russell Westbrook run into him. Down goes Rubio, 2 fouls on Westbrook.
Crowder and George battle for the loose ball. It's a tie-up.
A little reminiscent of Lance Stevenson in the Cavs game as Crowder extends the ball out away from Paul George.
Not the full wrestling move.
No, and not the full extension Lance Stevenson in the Statue of Liberty mode, but Crowder gets the ball away from him. Great hustle for him to get down on the deck and jump ball here.
George the penetration. And a foul called inside. Carmelo Anthony got tangled up with Crowder. Ingles, hot hand. Yes!
And again, Joe Ingles right after the 3, right in the face of Paul George.
Ingles was 0 of 4. He has made 3 threes in a row for a heat check. 2-second difference shot clock, the game clock. It bounced off George into the backcourt. It was a backcourt violation. And a technical foul has been assessed to Joe Ingles.
I want to give Joe Ingles something to stir it with. After the turnover, just asking for the ball. Paul George hits him. He goes back to talk to him. He gets up getting a technical foul, which you could say might be questionable, but Joe Ingles not backing down here late in the second.
Ingles lobs it in. Big against small. Felton fouls Gobert, and Rudy Gobert is down for the count. And Gobert's not happy.
He might have got him in the beignets, I'm not sure. Down on the deck and taking offense to it. Now Westbrook comes over and has something to say as Rudy's trying to collect himself.
Yeah. The officials are taking a look. And Westbrook took a slap at Gobert as the chatter continued. Double technicals have been called after the common foul on Felton, so double tees.
Do you think Gobert deserved a technical foul for?
I think that's what Rudy's asking right now.
Yeah.
George misses off the back of the iron. And the three-point shooting has been woeful. 3 of 20. Timeout, Westbrook and Ingles. The officials once again angle between these two teams. The timeout was called. Westbrook got in on Ingles. We know what happened to Gobert. And young Terrence Ferguson checks in for the first time. Now make that Josh Houston, who's now in for OKC. Oh, look out! Crowder getting into it with Carmelo Anthony. Assistant coach is trying to make peace. Crowder being ripped away from the scrum. Anthony still hanging around that area. This has been simmering throughout. Initially, it looked like Crowder and Adams. It was Westbrook. Crowder reacted. Crowder had something to say. He didn't know Adams was there.
I don't know about that, Bird, but that's when it drew the attention of everybody else. That elbow right into the face of Steven Adams. And he might have been trying to wipe away Carmelo Anthony, and Adams was behind the play.
That's what I saw from this angle, that Anthony and Crowder were engaged, and then Adams joined in, and he made contact with Adams. The foul was called on Westbrook.
And really not much of a play on the ball from Russell there. And I wonder how the refs are going to deem this with Crowder. If they think that he recognized that Adams was there, there's a chance of an ejection for Jay Crowder on a play like that.
Crowder connected with Adams as he was trying to slap away Carmelo Anthony's arm. And Adams is just fixing the nose. Yep. Put it right back in place. The technicals tonight: Paul George, Adams, Felton, Snyder, Ingles, and Gobert for Utah. That was prior to that incident. Bill Spooner has just passed along the message, and Crowder has been tossed. Westbrook driving in on Rubio. Westbrook is playing with 5 fouls. Adams missed it off the iron. Rebounded by Westbrook. Anthony gets around Mitchell. The pull-up, no good. Rubio ends up on the ground. Westbrook tied up with Favors, and a foul called.
See, that's what I worry about. I mean, whatever happened there on the baseline in terms of the foul, there's still a lot of elbow flying up towards guys' faces, and a lot of power behind these plays. I just don't want to see somebody get hurt for no reason. You know Russell's not going to back down in the intensity. And you just hate for something to mire this game, given how much Utah has worked.
The Utah Jazz take a commanding 3-1 lead on the Oklahoma City Thunder.